underway, round 5 action. Great to be with you right around the country here on Nine's Wide World of Sports, and the skipper himself takes the first run back. Fogarty straightens, Kaya Weeks underneath to Nicholson. Nicholson, the English back rower, he's crawled his way over the line under the posts. Fast play the ball. Rayleigh in his 108th game in succession was the acting half. Hiroti straight through a massive gap. They left a yawning hole, and Hiroti
going.
Hines now, last play, linking in with Burns. Desperate low tackle, that was good by Timokol. To Cronulla's 20-metre line. They've had a decent glut of possession down this end of the field. Just the one try to speak of at the moment, but Tarpanay continuing to cause problems with that wonderful footwork. Starling is lightning from acting half, and he kicks in behind, and Hudson Young is a willing recipient. I don't know if he's got it.
He's got it. Look at his face.
He's set up beautifully. It's just one bounce, two bounce. This will show it nicely. Does he get it down?
Getting nervous.
Eagle Eye Fittler, try confirmed.
Yes.
Nice.
The Sharkies close enough to strike it. Great defence. Oh, Nikora broke out of the tackle and got the ball down. How strong is he? But it holds 5 metres short. Starling across to Fogarty. Chris now got rattled around the ribs, but slipped a beautiful ball away. And Hudson Young's got 2 in the first half. Brayley waiting. Goes to Nico on the right-hand side. Back to Nikora. There's a bit of space there. Nikora throws it on the boot once, twice, 3 times. Nikora! It'll be on the highlights reel of tries of the year. He kicked it 3 times.
Got like a process line over there in North England.
Just runs over people. So said Chris. Trying to get around Ramian. He doesn't lack anything for strength either. Powerful set by the Raiders. They're inside the red zone. Tamale sees a little bit of open space. Gets to within 4 metres of the line. This is better. This is Kaya Weeks. Tried to duck his way underneath the defence. Hines kicking for a Kennedy chase. They fly. Great contest. Knock on Canberra.
You sure?
We're challenging.
Righto, so we're not going to have the captain's challenge because we're going back for a high tackle in this set.
Oh, no.
It's you and Cameron McInnes, okay?
Oh, sin bin.
Yeah, it's direct contact,
Wow.
okay?
He's
No
going to the
mitigation.
bin.
Direct and forceful in the bin.
Well, that
So I think-
changes the game.
So I think this may have been the last
So we have
play
penalty
before
back
the
there
kick.
now. There it is there, mate. It's on report as well.
That's a huge reaction to what went on last weekend.
Maintain, unless a referee and 2 touch judges who are generally within 10 or 15 metres of the play see foul play, let it play on. Deal with it on Monday.
Tackle, Joe.
Well, you only have to go back 2 weeks to see what happened when the Canberra Raiders team went down to 12 players.
Rip them apart through the middle of the ground. Last play. Gee, we're set up for a thriller here, aren't we? It comes over to Ramian.
Oh, what a tackle.
Ethan Strange with a grassing shot around the legs. Fogarty thought about a kick. Goes away to Hudson Young. It's the last, boys. He keeps the ball alive. It goes to Tamale. Tamale down the wing, tries to step back in. They bundle him over. Great defence. He's been outstanding tonight, Will Kennedy. On Jamal Fogarty's boot here. He's going to pass and run instead. Hudson Young pulls into the clear, gets to the fullback. Can he link up? He gets up and goes again. Hudson's going to get a pass it, son. It's the last tackle. They've got to keep it alive at all costs. It's back to Savage. Savage rolls it through. Timoko chasing. The ball bounces up. Weeks has got it. He keeps it alive. Back to Simi Sasaki.
One good play.
Produced a miracle.
Good play.
An absolute miracle. It's a match winner.
You just need one good play. What a victory.
I'm telling you, I reckon some of their fans were walking out of GIO Stadium and they heard the roar of the crowd and raced back in and seen that try by Seb Chris. I'm telling you.
Ricky, I think your post-game celebration's already gone viral. You were
absolutely ecstatic with that. What did you just say to your players after getting that win right at the death?
Well, I would have gave them a rap. I would have given them a real compliment about their game. And this is what I said to them, that if we hadn't won, because the way they fought and hung in there, we had every reason to lose it. So there's a lot of fight in them. And the last 2 weeks we've been against Manly, there was a scenario where we didn't have any football and the game got taken away from us. And then last week, as I said to both Fox and Nine after the game, the conditions up there, the humidity up there, it didn't let us play our game of footy, our style of footy. I can say that tonight after a win, but I couldn't have said it after a loss because it looks like you're making excuses, but I don't make excuses for losses. We just couldn't play our style of footy last week, and yet we still could have won it in the last 5 or 6 minutes. I'm just really proud of. You seen it. You seen what this club is about in that last minute and a half. You've seen what this club is built on.
Do you need two new members of staff, in Bish and 40, or how are they?
They both make me look like I'm 6'4".
When you say you didn't get to play your brand of footy last week, I mean, in the second half you almost didn't really either because you had a man down, there were some tough calls.
Lara, we're not that ill-disciplined. It's like when we played Manly 2 weeks ago. This team is not that ill-disciplined. I don't know what I can do as a coach because I don't go out, as a coach, I don't go out and coach grubby tactics. I don't go out and coach to be ill-disciplined. You ask anyone I coach. But anyhow.
You could have been coming in here pretty upset. Obviously, that it came down to that last play. How did the team find that heart, that energy when, you guys had no ball, you were defending?
Yeah, no field position. I think the penalty count was 7-2. Okay, fine. If we're giving penalties away, that's great. You can't tell me other teams don't give away penalties as well. It's. I hate talking, and Toddy is a wonderful referee. I'm not having a crack at him. He's a wonderful ref. I hope I'm allowed to give him a rap.
Hudson Young obviously wanted to have a big game today.
Sorry?
Hudson obviously wanted to have a big game today. 2 tries, probably would have wanted to make up for the sin bin. And he was heavily involved in getting you guys upfield.
He's the best start to the season I reckon Hudson's had since I've coached him. He's really started the season well. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and his off-field manner, his leadership he's very authentic. He loves rugby league. He loves the Raiders. He loves his position in the club at the moment. He's a guy who could one day take over Taps as a captain. If he's around that long. He's wonderful assistance for Taps as a leader. I reckon it's the best start of his season I've had him in his career.
Do you put that just down because he's 26, I think, just the natural maturing and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think so, David. I think maturity plays a big part of everybody's growth in football, and we've got a number of boys right throughout our squad. Some of them are still in New South Wales Cup that games of football, birthdays are a big part of their maturity and development in rugby league, especially at this intensity, on this stage.
Joe, how was it out there for you in the second half? There were some frustrating moments. We talked about the penalty count. What communication were you getting around that from the officials?
Yeah, it was tough, but I think, like I was saying, the coaching staff really laid a platform for us to stay calm, and I think the boys done a good job circling up and just focusing on what we can, focus on. We can't take those calls away, but we can get to that next tackle, that next play, and that's what we really focused on.
It was obviously your first home game back this year.
Yeah.
How was it out there? The crowd was absolutely electric, especially in that last 2 minutes.
Yeah, 100%.
How's it going to be back at home?
I think every year we've got a great home crowd. We made a huge emphasis on the off-season. We want to make this our fortress and win as many home games as we can. Last year we went on par with that, and we're 2 from 2, and we just got to keep that around. I think the way coach staff and our high performance have changed up little things where before we come to games has really helped the crew gel as well. So we'll just stay on that same path.
Ricky, do you feel the new high tackle rules were evenly applied across the game? Or do you feel like you've got a better idea of what is a sin bin and what isn't?
No.
And there was also, luckily, didn't matter in the end, but there was a disallowed try in the first half from Kyle Weeks as well. Do you think that obstruction call, whether they're running on the inside shoulder or not, has that been cleared up either?
I don't know. But as I said to some people last week, that you can give the vocab to whatever outcome you want. You can give the vocab to whatever outcome that has been given on the field. Because I can give you vocab in regards to the last time we spoke about this, that makes me sound right. So, no, I'm confused with it.
Joe, how's your ankle?
It's all good. Yeah, so we've got a good long turnaround, and it'll be fine.
Ricky, you mentioned conditions before affecting some of your last games. Heading to Darwin next week, how do you guys sort of prepare for, the change from sort of a colder Canberra heading over to Darwin?
Yeah, it's going to be, again, it's going to be very humid, and, it's 30-odd degrees. As I said right at the start of the year, that the first 3 months of our schedule, our draw, is a massive challenge. But I'm really calling upon our senior boys, Joe and his crew, to make it, to make it a real challenge for us. We've got a lot of young boys that are travelling with these guys, a lot of young guys in our squad. They create the excitement, and because they haven't got much commitment at home or whatnot, where these boys have. They've got families and partners, wives back home. So we've got to balance it out, because you've got to understand that we're leaving our partners and families back home for these players. So we try and make sure they're looked after. But the younger boys, they come on board, and it's up to the senior boys to make sure that they're doing everything for those boys, because it's exciting for them. The Ethan Strangers and Sav and those boys, they're really, they're young in their careers, and it's an exciting time. We had a wonderful prep last week in Townsville. It was outstanding, and very fortunate the club allowed us to go up there early. But as I say, the conditions knocked us around. We just got to, I'll look at certain scenarios, and I'll look at how players are in regards to their health and welfare. Like playing at 4 o'clock up there last week, that was bloody hard. I was really concerned all week on how these guys will get to the sideline tonight, but they're a tough bunch.
I had another great game with the boot, and just in general play. How important is it to have his contract locked up before you head up to Darwin?
I'm not too sure. It's around 6 thing. Yep. Yeah. Jamal knows what I want.
Is it?
And I said it during the week that these senior boys, and it's not just Jamal and Tommy, we've got a lot of senior boys with younger blokes who are very good football players coming through. It's up to the senior boys to keep their positions, and it's not just Jamal and Tommy I'm talking about, it's a number of boys. It's up to them to keep their positions, and if they can't, we need depth here. And we've taken another journey in regards to how we're going to create our own marquee players, and I need senior players around these younger players coming through. Like the way Tommy Starling's playing at the moment, and the way Jamal Fogarty's playing at the moment, that is great role models on game day, role models on the field for these younger blokes coming through. I mean, Owen Paddy's not in any rush. Owen Paddy's doing a wonderful job for us coming on, and he's, at times I apologise I can't get him minutes, and he does not even blink an eye. and Tommy's doing a great job. But I need depth in positions, and when you're doing a categorisation of your roster, there's certain positions that you need depth in.
How does that sort of play out over the next week and a bit, I guess, until that round 6 deadline?
Well, they're things I just talked to Jamal about, and I'll talk to his management. But it's they're the personal things that you got to understand respectfully. You got to understand that we have communication and we have conversations all the time. And both those boys know exactly what I want with them at this club. They're both big parts of the Raiders.
Greg, straight after a pretty heartbreaking loss, how do you assess how that all unfolded late in the game?
There's always plenty to assess. Obviously, the initial disappointment, you've got to get over it pretty quick, but there'll be plenty of lessons out of the game, and it was a terrific game, and both teams were coming off a lot of travel and 5-day turnaround, so I think we were both out of gas at the end there, and we just couldn't find a way, and they just found it for that last play there. Just had one more play to defend and get away with it, but they were strong tonight and kept coming, and I thought it was a pretty even match in the end, but we just execution's a little bit off at the moment.
Can you pinpoint why?
Lack of training time, changes, illness. We've had a number of players busting. We haven't been training with the team that we've been setting up with, so it affects your cohesion a little bit on how you play. So we'll get a longer turnaround and get some work done next week, and hopefully have some more healthy players that can actually train. Guys are playing bust at the moment, but no excuse either. Everyone goes through it from time to time. Just got to deal with it.
That 10-minute sin bin period, like what are you thinking up there in the box? How do you think they were managing or not managing that when you have that advantage and you'd hope to score some points?
Yeah, we thought we decided to, because we weren't looking great with the ball there, to take the 2 and then have a reset, get back to some the way we wanted to play there. We just didn't ask enough questions in that period, and obviously sometimes they got a resolve out of that. I thought that period. So, but if you have your time over again, of course you like to get it all right, but that's what happened.
That second half there, the first half there, a lot of tries back and forth. The second half is sort of the attack, both sides, sort of, the air kind of went out of the game. Do you sort of attribute that to the tiredness coming into the game, or why wasn't it clicking in the attack in the second half?
Yeah, I'd imagine so, yeah. Both, I'd like the effort and attitude of both teams, both weren't going away. It was just who was going to hang in the longest there. So, no, I think that's probably had something to do with it. Field position, a few other factors there, but yeah, it was a different half, wasn't it? Yeah.
You know how this game works, Fitzy. People are going to keep criticising your key men who didn't come up with the points tonight. How do you navigate that as a coach for them and as a team?
Always had it before. We'll have it again. We'll deal with it and move on. There's more than one, so we've just got to stick together and get all that. It's like the whole team needs it more than just one guy. We need to keep improving, and we're just a little bit out of sorts at the moment, but not definitely not an effort, an attitude. So I'd rather be picking up some execution and some things we need to do better rather than effort and attitude and commitment.
You talked about confidence. Is that an issue, do you think, at the moment in attack?
More execution than confidence, I think. Yeah, I think some details there we're sort of losing our way a little bit on. So once again, you can only get it in. We've got to train it better. We've got to get some more time doing it there and then start it.
Cam, how do you see it out there when you guys have all the possession, you've got a man advantage, and you're not able to get across the line? What's going on?
Yeah, just back up what Coach said, the effort's there and the want to. Just a little bit of execution at the moment, and just building that cohesion. And it's early on in the season, and I'm so proud of the effort that we've put in the last month. Sometimes you don't get the results, but I'm confident if we keep working at it and putting that effort on the field, it'll turn for us. But we just got to stick together and stay patient.
Cam, you were in that challenge that saw Hudson Young getting sin bin. Do you feel as a player that it's clear to you what will send you to the sin bin in terms of a high tackle? Is it still, just trying to figure out what the rules are with that?
No, there was a message sent out that contact to the head, you're putting yourself in danger of going off. So yeah, it's pretty clear. Just got to get our tackle height right. It's hard in our game. It's a tough game we play, but those are the rules. So it was said to us, and yeah.